Today, from U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, it's a special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings taking on Matt Ryan and the Indianapolis Colts.
And we find ourselves at the stadium that played host to Super Bowl 52, the wondrous U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Coming up, we've got what should prove to be a good one between the Indianapolis Colts and the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've been... This defense already looking at a deficit on the scoreboard, but now what can they design here to disrupt this third down play? Third and short yardage, Cousins. And this a leaping effort, but it's knocked. Needing the tough yards, they run it with their fullback. And he is going to pick up the Vikings. Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with his 13th rushing touchdown on the year as his guys are able to extend their lead. So that a very nice-looking touchdown run.
And on his first carry of the game as well. And you remember, Brandon, we talked to him yesterday, and he thought he was going to have a big game. He thought everything aligned perfectly. He liked what the defense was presenting, and he really liked what he was getting from his blockers.
Greg Joseph on for the extra point. And this is good as they extend it out now to a 9-0 lead. That time a 9-play drive. And it's capped off by the touchdown run coming from Dalvin Cook. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Second drive coming up here for the Indianapolis Colts. And you figure this should be a healthy, a focused unit, and they're working on a good winning streak. They had the week off last week. This is really a team, Charles, that should be in top 4.
I would agree absolutely with that. What coaches worry about, what organizations worry about, though, is overconfidence. They've been playing so well, and now they've had that extra time off. And we've seen teams come back off the open week and come out flat. So what a lot of good coaches do is they kind of game plan for that with their teams. On defense, they may blitz more in the beginning to get them going. On offense, they may go more up-tempo. Anything to get them out of that lethargy right at the beginning.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Ryan. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down. And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
2 drives won't tell the story of this game, but you absolutely have to like how this defense has played thus far. They have yet to allow this offense to get untracked in this one.
Out is Rigoberto Sanchez on 4th down to punt this thing. This is taken at the 23. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it, it's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Cook again. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the 1st. This running game so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. 60 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the 1st quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. This offense, Charles, we've talked about how well they played all season, sitting now at 13-0 and the finish line for a perfect regular season. That's in sight. Some in the media this week were pointing back to the 07 Patriots. Of course, remember, they finished the regular season unbeaten, but they were tested multiple times in that final month plus.
Yeah, it was something like 4 of their last 6 wins were one-possession games, and they played like a team that was trying to protect something instead of chasing something. And that's what happens when you have an undefeated record. So it behooves you as a team, get a couple blowouts in there so you get a chance to relax and breathe. But that's much easier said than done.
Play fake, Cousins. And oh, what a catch at the 2. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there with his 16th touchdown of the year. And they are able to add on to their advantage. You and I have seen some great catches throughout our days calling these games. A spectacular grab there, just a receiver making a wonderful play.
When there's a chance to get 6 points on the board, you see a little extra effort sometimes. A terrific layout to go get the football.
Joseph now to add the PAT. And that will make this a 16-point lead. That time a 6-play drive. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Colts offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. A carry by Taylor to start the drive. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
All right, need you to check my eyes here. This entire unit defensively, I think, has looked really strong in the first half, especially in the secondary. They've been cohesive, fast to the football, and we just saw another example arriving there to help knock that one away.
And that is incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
As Sanchez on to punt here as he sends this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. A pretty good punt there, but also a nice return of 12 yards. And it will be Vikings ball, 1st and 10. And you see Dalvin Cook and the offense heading back out. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. Tackle made by Grover Stewart.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Play action now. Cousins. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 27 yards there, a 1st down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Cousins gives way to Cook. 73 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half.
That play wasn't quite as big as the play that preceded it, but still, got to like the way they're moving the football, partner.
Absolutely. Pretty good room to run on that last play.
Yeah, they didn't get a 1st down, but still, you'll take runs like that each and every time, won't you?
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4. Now Cousins. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. 23 yards for the touchdown. And the Vikings continue to pull away here in this first half. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
And we remember, of course, all scoring plays need to be verified upstairs, and I think they're going to at least take a look at this. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
So they called it a touchdown originally, and this will stay a touchdown after the video review, so they had it right. Joseph on for the extra point. And that PAT pushes the lead up to 23 now. Just a 4-play drive that time, and it all culminates in a touchdown for Minnesota. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse if this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Up the middle, here's Taylor. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now it's Ryan. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On 2nd and very short, Ryan. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. I mean, at this point, CD, what is not going their way in this first half? After that pick 6, they now have a 4-possession lead here.
And that allows them to say to themselves, how about we get everybody involved, okay? Because this one is a runaway, and it's looking like it's going to be even more of a runaway. Everybody gets a chance to play and get a little bit of love. The more guys that get to watching the highlight reels from this one, the better.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Indy set to go on offense once more. And remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick 6, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go-around.
And sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick 6 and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And going right back to Pittman. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They'll throw on 1st down with Ryan. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Under pressure, and they got to him again. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. We'll get back to you and Charles in a minute. But first, time to give the folks at home a look at what's going on around the NFL. Plenty of good matchups in that 1 o'clock Eastern win.
All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early. Taken in at the 3. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they've got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 86 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
First down, here's Cousins. Going up top. And incomplete on the deep ball.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. They run it again with Cook. And a good push up front, and he's able to navigate his way down inside the 30. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 more yards there and another 1st down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, Cousins. That's going to be caught. Touchdown. Kirk Cousins with 3 touchdown passes now in the afternoon. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Well, on the other sideline right now, it's just absolute dejection. But, Charles, let's focus on the positive. With the lead that they built here, they've done pretty much everything to perfection in this ball game.
They certainly have. Makes me think that their week of preparation was excellent. And they flowed into this game, and it carried over. And right now, I don't expect them to back off at all. They're playing so well, they just want to keep it going.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. Ryan and the Colts getting set here, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll start with a give to Taylor. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the 3rd quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down. Running straight ahead, Taylor. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the 3rd quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. And right about now, you start to think, and maybe they're starting to think, gosh, maybe points aren't going to happen for us in this game.
Well, it's a thought that is worth having because so far in this game, this defense has not just had the upper hand. They've appeared to be a step ahead, maybe even 2 steps to everything they've done. They've had an answer for everything this offense has thrown at them.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Going for the deep ball. And that is incomplete.
He took a shot there, but boy, was that ill-advised from my viewpoint. Coverage was awfully tight. How did he get away with that one not being picked off?
On 2nd down, Cousins again. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing is Cousins. Got an open man, finding Jefferson. Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson with his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Vikings are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. And Rodgers will hold on to this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. Well, we're still in the 3rd quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Here's Ryan to throw. And this is caught. Mercedes Lewis with a grab. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Indianapolis moving the chains there on a gain of 12. Now, this is certainly one of the bigger losses that we are going to see for quite some time. And you have to think at this point where we're at in the 4th quarter with how wide this advantage is. For this offense, they're just trying to end things with a positive drive and then get the heck out of here.
Yeah, if this had been a concert, you would have heard plenty of sour notes in this one. But they certainly don't want to end it on one. They want to put together a few more throws like that and at least have a final drive to give them a little bit more hope as they move forward.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Ryan. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
To throw again is Ryan. And that will be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez as he's on to punt for Indianapolis. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. So this punt sails out of bounds across midfield. Now the question, they're going to spot it right at the 40-yard line. And out now come the Vikings. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. They'll try and wind down some clock with Cook. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 135 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Another touchdown here in the 4th quarter. And, Charles, I think we can start to consider that this undefeated streak of theirs is going to be safe for another week.
And, partner, you don't make it this far into a season without a loss unless you're getting contributions from both sides of the ball and sometimes even your special teams. And that's been true today. Each side helping guide them to this late lead.
Joseph now to have the PAT. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was all capped off by Justin Jefferson's touchdown reception. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. The drive will start at the 25-yard line here as Rodgers will not return it. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And that 5-game win streak is ticking away here in the 4th quarter. Just haven't been as sharp in this one. Ryan and the Colts getting set here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Ryan. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. Second and 6, just inside the 30. Here's Ryan. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 3rd down, Ryan. Completes it left side to the tight end Lewis. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. That's taken on the 25. A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the fourth quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the first down as well. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Again, it's Cook. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. They got 5 through the air last play, now 5 on the ground. 1st and 10.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
He's brought down there by Kenny Moore. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed asleep. So for the Vikings, they move ever closer to the perfect regular season as they run things to 14-0. And they'll have another home date next week as the New York Giants come to town. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they'll drop to 9-5 on the year. And they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers.